We're modifying my wife's Audi SQ5. We're making it a whole lot faster in this episode and louder. This is an X pipe to delete a resonator to get some nice tone and more volume out of the exhaust. We have 6 high output red ignition coil packs. We'll touch on why we're installing those. We have a high pressure fuel pump piston upgrade kit to get more fuel through the fuel pump so we can safely run E85. And then we have an ethanol content sensor that's Bluetooth to your phone. That's gonna be inline. It'll be a really great install. And most importantly, we'll be flashing the Stage 1 Plus E85 tune from 034 and doing some tests. This car is gonna launch so hard, be so fast, and I'm genuinely curious what my wife's response is gonna be that her car is this fast. Let's get to work. .034 high output ignition coils, they are red, but that's not the only thing they got going for them. This right here is a heat sink. It helps keep the electronics inside here as cool as possible and cool them more efficiently than the stock ones that have just a black plastic wrapped around that insulates heat. The cooler these can stay, as we all know electronics work, the more consistent they'll work, the more reliable they will be, and that's important. But what does it mean by high output, and should you upgrade to these? Is it necessary unless you plan on making some bigger power? Probably not. Does it hurt? No. Will it only help reliability? Yes. But what is the difference between a regular coil pack and a high output? Under higher amounts of load, specifically Stage 3 Plus, bigger turbos, high horsepower, you might need some more voltage to keep up with the demand of what is needed for, in fancy terms, what you would say the ionization, I believe that's the right word, of the air-fuel mixture. So basically, you just need more electricity to get a strong enough spark to make it explode in the combustion cycle. But I'm probably losing you, and that's okay. All you need to know is that when it comes to the high output part, it's under extreme amounts of load that you're gonna see more consistency and reliability out of something like this. Why am I installing it? Well, because they're red, they'll look cool underneath, of course. They'll be more reliable, and if I decide to make some bigger power with this car, we'll be ready. Will my wife like that idea? We'll find out. I'll keep you updated. But these are cool. We'll make light work of the install. They'll be ready for some bigger power and be a nice little upgrade for the 3.0T. Engine cover off, intake out of the way. Let's install these new coil packs, and let's start on the more difficult side with the ECU and this wiring harness. That's got to move quite a bit. Disconnect our PCV hose and move it out of the way. Now we have access to our wiring harness. I believe this is a cam sensor. Don't want to disconnect that. Okay, slid that out without ruining it. Really hard to film in here, but I'm gonna go in here and release each red tab on each coil pack. Alright, there it is. First one is hard to get. This little ball head mount for the wiring harness. We're gonna add this little spacer here to move that wiring harness up to make space for the bigger coil packs that take up more space with their heat sink. Put our spacer on, put this back without dropping it into the abyss. Cool, now that's raised. Let's put this bad mamma jamma in here. Pushed it all the way down. Got a good seal. All the wires are intact. I feel like that might have been the hardest one. And that one's done. Second one's going in over here. This one's been easier than the first one. Magnet and bolt. 5 Newton meters just tight. Give it a couple tugs. Pull it out of the hard spot. Slide the new one in. That one's pushed in. Here's a little look up close. This one's at an angle, this one's straight, this one's straight. And then this whole wiring harness, you just have to move around depending on what you need to do. That clips in, wiring clipped back on. We're back in business. That could have been worse. Nice. Now on to the easy side. Push the red clip out, red clip out, red clip out. Press the red clip down and wiggle. Ah, barely. Woo! That one's good. Now we have another one of those mounting spots that needs a spacer. Break it loose. Add the spacer. Very carefully. Alright, let's do the one in the back. We got the T30 again. Wiggle, wiggle. Release that suction. In we go with the new one. wire clips. That wires in. Cool, we're all done. On the table, we have a high pressure fuel pump piston upgrade kit from 034. Two little separate pieces. You got your locking collar and your little top hat. A specialty tool that they make to make light work of the job. I mean, these pieces are really small in person. But the high pressure fuel pump on these cars is not that big. And the biggest difference is the hole that I'll show you before and after inside here. You're gonna get 37% more flow of fuel through your pump. That way when you run E85 and it requires so much more fuel, your fuel mileage does go down, but your temperatures and everything of the engine decrease so much. You can push a lot more timing and a lot more boost really early on in the power band and make a lot of torque. It just needs a lot more fuel to do that. So that's where this piston upgrade kit is so vital and comes into play for the B9 platform. Let's install it. To begin wrenching under the hood, I set up my spaces. Let me show you how I did it. Space number one, I have my high pressure fuel pump piston kit right here. I have the tool from 034 as well. I have my valve spring compressor tool, but this also works perfectly for this. This is from Harbor Freight and there's one on Amazon. I'll leave in the description. And then I have a little shot glass left over from my wedding last year. A bunch of these shot glasses. I put some liquid moly in it, so I will be using that to lube up our piston for our fuel pump. So we can do all that right here because of my vise right here that I'm going to use. My tool cart is all the way clean and set up. And then over here I have my ethanol content sensor. One thing I need to do is get two of these gloves. I might need them over here, but I'll put them away if I don't use them. Let's pop the hood. First things first, I'm going to pull up gently on my engine cover. If you don't have a pair of Maxi Flex gloves, what are you doing? These are seriously the bee's knees. And I've washed these ones and all my ones I own right now probably at least 50 times and they still feel and look amazing. They're linked in the description down below. On my master Amazon list, that's in every single video, there's so much good stuff in there to make light work of working on cars. On this plug, I took a pick, pulled gently to pull it up. You just gotta press it until you hear it click a little bit. You just wanna wiggle it and persuade it. Now I need to get these hard lines off. Okay, that's out. Ooh, there it goes. One is out. Alright, so this thing should come out now. Alright, so the pump's out. We're gonna get our fuel pump strapped down in the vise, nice and tight. Take our custom socket from 034. I'm gonna apply nice even pressure. See my thing's rotating. I gotta hit this guy. Oh, there it goes. That was beautiful. Pay attention to how everything kind of goes. We're gonna open up our vise. I have a 5mm triple square. We're gonna put it on the very center of this. We're gonna tighten these together. Gotta apply some force here. Okay, making sure it's like dead nuts in the middle. So I'm just gonna tighten my vise now slowly. It's gonna compress that spring. I'm gonna go back and forth a little bit. Wait for this thing to unleash. There it goes. Pull everything out very carefully. I'm gonna pay really close attention how this all went together. Put it in order. Now this is where the increased flow comes from. If we look at the 034 side versus the OEM, look how much bigger that hole is. I don't think you're gonna be able to tell, but you can see it. I don't know what you call this specific part. I think this is the piston. Could be wrong, but a little bit different design. I'm gonna get my shot glass of liquid moly oil, dip my finger in it, and just oil everything up right now. Let's slide this through here. Now we need to compress this to get these in there. Now I have it in my valve spring compressor. So now let's take our locking collars, just set them in. Okay, I think it's in. After monkeying with it long enough, I was able to like move it with my hand on the bottom and get the two locking collars in there. Okay, so I got it there. I'm releasing it slowly. Come on, baby. Yeah, let's go. Beautiful. Full of oil. Take the 034 part, stick it in right there. Start threading her back in. Everything's back how it goes. Snug. Make sure there's some oil around that seal. We're ready to rock. So let's just set it back in here. I'm gonna pull back on this line and twist. Ugh. This is lined up. The back one's lined up. I'm gonna get hard line in and started. Okay, that's pretty much in there. Okay, I'm not gonna tighten these ones yet. I'm gonna get them to the bottom. And I'll get my hard lines worked on. Okay, let's get that back one real tight. Now let's get the triple squares tight. Alright, that's really tight. Cool. Now I'm gonna hit the ignition to make sure there's no leaks. Any fuel anywhere? Dry as a bone. Okay, we have that sensor in the back that needs to get plugged in. Get that to clip in, hit the safety latch. Here on the table, we have what we need to monitor and have a sensor on how much ethanol is in our fuel, and it's thanks to this guy right here, the Fuel It brand Bluetooth sensor. So we're gonna have an app on our phone, and we can verify that we at least have E60, E50 to the fuel rails. Know it's safe to flash our E85 file from 034 Motorsport for our tune to make a bunch more power and not have any issues. And if you don't have a high octane fuel like E85, it ain't gonna go well. In the description, there's links to these products that make it as affordable as possible. So we have 290s, 2 straights. We have our power wire that comes with the Fuel It Bluetooth ethanol sensor transmission device. Now this is a GM product. This is on a Chevy, and this is an ethanol content sensor. It's an OE replacement, but we're actually using this and taking advantage of it. The Bluetooth device from Fuel It actually plugs into our ethanol content sensor and clips in just like this, and the fuel is running through it. And then it's telling this computer in here, hey, this is what it is. This is what I'm reading from your GM sensor, and it's sending it via Bluetooth to your phone, and you can open it with your app to see what your ethanol content is. We have some single ear hose clamps, and what do we have these for? There's a link below to order this kit. When you're messing with fuel, you do not want to play games. If you have a fuel leak in your engine bay and it's hot up in there and it touches an exhaust pipe and ignites, you could kiss your car goodbye. So we have these single ear hose clamps, and you use this tool right here. This is a really secure way to clamp down some fuel lines, so that way they're tight and they're never going to come off, and you need this tool and this kit to do it. Now we're going to be installing the ethanol content sensor to this hose right here and running the power to right here. So I'm going to put the straight on the bottom until it clips on like that. The 90 is going to go right here. Your plug's facing down, and it's going to sit on this hose like that. I need to cut off this cover. This stuff is pretty dry rotted. Just being super careful not to cut the actual fuel line. Before we cut this, I need to relieve the pressure. So I'm going to take my 14 mil on this back hard line. Now with my hose cutter, I'm gonna cut it right here. And get those single ear clamps on the hose itself. Then we're gonna press this into the hose. Grab the tool. Tug on them a little bit. Those feel good. Never even took any connections off the car, which is awesome. Bluetooth transmitter's gonna clip on right there. Our power go over here. Leave this up here. I have some ring terminals, different sizes. That'll be great for ground. This one will be great for positive. So I'm gonna take my wiring harness that it came with, plug it in. I'll have to zip tie that there. So I'll hook up a zip tie here. So the longest cable is to go up there. I'm gonna trim back the wire. Got a little bit of heat shrink. Slide this on here. It's pretty solid. That ground's gonna run up there. Trim off the red wire, strip it. Heat shrink on it. This is a better size than I did before. Put the ring terminal on. Put the positive terminal back on. Snug up the ground. All right, before I do anything else, I want to make sure it works and we don't have any leaks. None there, none there. As soon as you open the app, it automatically connects to a nearby device, and as you can see, it's 9% ethanol. Perfect, we're working. Now let me clean up this wiring, put the intake back, and we'll go drive it. All right, intake's all back in place. Start it up real quick to make sure it's good. Look for fuel leaks. Everything looks good. Awesome. Let's do a quick wash together before we go and drive it. I can't stand how dirty it is. It's pollen season here in AZ, so I haven't washed it since we coated it, and all this pollen is all over it. It needs a hand wash. Now that the car's dry, I'm gonna give it a little treatment of the Rapid Ceramic. Shake it up real good. I'm gonna have editor Justin throw up a picture of a car that has absolutely ruined, sun-baked clear coat. Think of the ceramic coating we did as a clear coat for your clear coat, and think of this as a way to make that coating last a year instead of 6 months per se, or twice as many washes. This will give it a nice coat. So I'm gonna rub it into one spot, then I'm gonna flip to a dry side of the rag and buff it off and get all the high spots. And this will just keep your ceramic coating fresh for a long time. I'll have this linked in the description. And if you don't have money to do a professional ceramic coating, you can just do this straight onto your paint instead. And you'll see a bunch of water beading, and the car's gonna have ceramic coating type of properties. It just won't last as long as a true ceramic coating. You'll see a haziness on this piano black, and that's just letting you know that you need to get the high spot off. So just hit it with the dry side of the rag and then move on. And I use this in place of a detail spray. And I wanna speak from the heart. I have been working alongside Cerakote for probably over 5 years. We didn't have a formal partnership until recently, and I waited out that long, said no to so many people because all their products in their line is simple. It works so good. I've seen their monstrosity of a headquarters in person. Talk to them. They are real people that make a lot of cool products for the 2A community as well as the off-road community. All custom parts with Cerakote coatings, all the military contracts. They also own Prismatic Powder that does all the powder coating. And then their newest venture is starting the Cerakote Ceramics automotive line. And why I like it so much and why I waited so long for them to formally partner with me is because you have a tire coat, Rapid Ceramic instead of detail spray that works way better. You now have a simple soap. I told them I want a certain type of wheel cleaner that I think they should make for all of us to use that would be so good, and I gave them everything I think and kind of pushed on them a little bit. They'll probably take a couple years to make it just like they did all these. So their line grows so slow, but for good reason. Was I paid to say this directly? No. Am I paid to show you an awesome product and feature it on such a cool relationship basis because I work on cars all the time and I'm delivering these videos to you? And do they help make the videos possible after years and years of being committed and loyal to them? Absolutely. They're awesome. Every time I use these products, I'll leave them linked in the description of all the videos. Give it a shot. They're affordable, they work amazing, and I guarantee you're gonna be hooked. And that's why I've been riding with them so long. So thank you, Cerakote, for making an awesome product, helping me create these videos for all of us to enjoy. And thank you for showing up and viewing the videos to make it possible for this to be my job and help you and everyone else build confidence in the garage. Whether you're turning a wrench for the first time, the 1,000th time, I wanna teach you everything that I can from all these processes and have a blast together and just take a little break from reality. I'm a sucker for some black tires, so I'm gonna put a fresh coat of tire coat on here. This is my favorite product of them all as of right now. I'm gonna come back and wipe this wheel off last. This stuff is so goated. Give it a shot with the link in the description, or if you're in Walmart passing by, maybe a Home Depot, you see a Cerakote product, pick it up, give it a shot. Let me know, DM me, tag me on your Instagram story, or comment down below. We have our fueling upgrades, we have our sensor. Let's get a little seat time together. I want to speak to the newer Audi Volkswagen owners, and maybe you don't want to touch or physically modify your car. Maybe you want to do software, and we're going to do this X-pipe and you're waiting for that part to come up. I want to give you a true understanding of how much different but not different your car is going to be, and you might be missing out on some fun if you're slightly not confident in doing the X-pipe. So let's do a 40 mile an hour and 75 mile an hour decibel comparison. I'm going to get that while we're out and circle back on it to compare after we install the X-pipe. 40 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour, stock exhaust before we put the X-pipe. It's about like 65 decibels in here, borderline silent. A little dynamic sport rip. The weather just changed here in Arizona. It's hot now. All right, throw it in comfort mode, drive, set my cruise. All right, 75. Car is shifted down completely. I have the AC on. It's 101 out already. All right, we're going a little bit decline, so I want to wait till the ground levels out a little bit. We're at about 1900 RPM, and we're looking at about 70. It's bouncing between 67 and 73 decibels. Super comfortable. Let's go home and throw the X-pipe on. This is a modification that I think I wish I would have done on the S4 B9 that we had. Let's open up this box. Little foam covers for the hangers. Popular mod for this platform is a X-pipe to delete one of the large resonators under the car on all the B9 platform cars, SQ5, S4, S5. If you'll notice, it's connected right here. This is what makes it an X-pipe because of its shape and how it's connected. And if you take a flashlight and you stick it through, and then you look through this side, you can see it really obvious on the side that we put it through, as well as a little bit on this side. And this is where they cut it and weld it together. There's a lot of different companies that sell these. I'm gonna have an ECS link in the description. This is a cost-effective one. All the mounts and everything up close, you'll see the welds, they look great. It's gonna fit awesome, and it's a cost-effective choice. You can't really go wrong with the stainless setup. It is what it is. It's not like it's titanium or anything for a tone difference. We have our clamps, comes with in a separate box. My favorite part of the episode is finally going down. We have the X-pipe, so I'm gonna show you what we have going on. It's gonna replace this big resonator right here. We need to get this cross member out. All right, I think we have enough room. Now that that cross brace is out of the way, I want to get this whole rear muffler section of the catback off of the car, and then we're going to do our measurements and cutting on the ground. So the next thing I need to do is locate the electronic valves if you have them on your car. Is there only one? Oh yeah, there's only one on the driver's side. I'm going to disconnect that so we can fully lower this catback. Here's the valve. I can see this little gray tab right here. I need to get that pushed back. Call me crazy. I'm going to get a little bit of WD-40 there. Oh, beautiful. It came out so easy with that WD-40. Depending on the mileage of your car, I mean, some of these pieces of plastic get so dry, you just want to wiggle it off and help it. We're in the middle of the car. I want to remove these. These are looking insanely corroded. Not like East Coast corrosion, but 60,000 miles hasn't been touched. Gone through 7,000 heat cycles type of cook. So we're going to soak these in WD-40. You can hear that cracking. These bolts are so done. There's like chocolate rust in my socket. All right, cool. This is where this tool comes in. It's on the Amazon list. Exhaust hanger removal tool. Absolute necessity, worth every penny and then some. You just slide it on the corner, push it through. That one's loose. We are completely free. That one's disconnected. That one's disconnected. That one's disconnected. And this one's disconnected. I just set it right there because it's held in by a bolt. Now this whole system is ready to be removed. This is the fun part when you're alone. This muffler's probably not very light. Okay, I need to get it to slide off. There it goes. Oh. Well, that kind of works out. Then I can roll this. Now I can simply set my X-pipe. I'm gonna line this up just right. I feel like this is pretty safe. So I have my paint marker. So get something straight. I'm gonna go inside this line a little bit to keep it long. Just a little bit. Tool of choice, carbide steel sawzall. Use a grinder, a bunch of things. I have hearing protection in, so make sure you do that. But let's run it. I want to keep my blade working, so I'm gonna soak these in some WD-40, keep it cool. light work with the WD-40. Okay, let's get this one started. Sometimes it likes to walk. I have this file already handy. Cool. I want to put the muffler back up in first. I'm gonna lock this side in. I should have sprayed some silicone in this, or WD-40. Ugh. I love this stuff. I'm gonna spray it inside the hole I'm going into on that hanger. And now I'll push this up in here. That one went in a lot easier. I can support this here. See how smooth or difficult this goes. I have my clamps. I'm gonna orientate so the bolts are really easy to get to. See if we can slide this in. Pull these as tight as you can together. Now I need to get it open this hanger. Thank the Lord I put silicone in there. It went in so easy. All right, it's hanging by itself now. Now I'm gonna lift this up a little bit more and really, oh yeah, that's nice. I need to clamp that side in all the way first. Push it together. I'm gonna clamp one side. Boom. Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Before I put anything back, I'm gonna start up the car, and you'd either need to get under it or I'm gonna raise it and make sure we don't have any exhaust leaks, because these clamps are specific to kind of extend the pipe and they have seals on them, but I don't wanna find out later when we hear that like air noise. $72, $74. Oh, this is chill. It's in dynamic mode too. All right, Cole starts chilling out. It's not even any different. Cold start. The muffler's doing everything. I'm telling you, you shouldn't be scared of this. Let's make sure there's no leaks. Alright, I don't hear any. The exhaust note does sound a little smoother at first. Oh yeah, boys, we need a downpipe for sure. Did you just jump in your water bowl for the first time? You want some more water in this thing? Your feet are hot? Hey, here you go. His feet must have been hot because he just went straight for it like it was a big puddle.
Well, it's definitely getting too hot for him because he has been panting.
Here, come look at this. We need a wife update. Little X pipe right here.
Cool. Silver.
Chop, chop. We'll get a rise out of her once the wheels are on and the downpipe. I think he needs a kiddie pool. I hope he's a swimming dog. Good boy.
Get the water.
Do it, Blink. First driving the X-Pipe, let's roll through the gears. We're in drive, we're in comfort. Maybe a 5 to 10% increase, maybe in the mid-range. Let's pull up our decibels. 40 miles an hour. Editor Justin can throw up our comparison. All right, I'm gonna click it to dynamic right now. Open the valves. Probably didn't change at all. No, it only goes up when I'm yapping. Let's talk about what does a resonator do. A resonator is there to remove drone frequencies, the humming at consistent speeds. So am I surprised that we're not having a huge sound difference? No, because if you want a massive sound level difference, you delete mufflers. If you want more tone in the vehicle, you want more noise and more humming, you can delete a resonator. Now, it sounds counterintuitive. Well, we want to keep the factory system with the valve. So it's like, well, our options are limited, so we might as well delete the resonator so we can keep the factory muffler, which quiets it down plenty. And then it has the X-pipe feature to smooth out the exhaust tone, which I feel like the car does have a more consistent exhaust tone. It feels and sounds smoother, just slightly. It's nothing. Whoa. If you want to change your exhaust, you want to keep it pretty much stock, but get a little bit more tone, especially on the outside, this is probably a move. I like how much smoother it is, but it genuinely is not that much different to write home about. Especially if I throw it in drive in comfort, the car feels stock. This is the whole thing I'm trying to get at, is there's going to be a lot of you that want to keep it a stock feeling car, but you want it to have more personality. This is just that little thing you can do. The intake, the X-pipe, a stage 1 ECU, TCU, maybe even stage 2. It'll be plenty fun, and the car still feels and drives stock. You can put it back to stock easily. You can put the stock resonator back on with those same clamps. It's not hard. So I'm in comfort. It's just full intake noises. The car is a little quieter, or a little louder mid-range. Nothing anyone would even notice. Ariana's not gonna even notice the difference. For sure, she's not gonna notice. Where I feel like, and I'm curious if this is gonna shine, is with the downpipe. Is the tone gonna really sound extra good? We'll find out. I can hear a volume difference at the low RPMs. $30. 99 degrees out. Oh, what? This is the good stuff. Usually it's E90 or above. Like, I'm so lucky I live close to an ethanol pump this good. Oh. That's the weirdest thing, you gotta lift this. Alright, drink up, my friend. Alright, just topped off. Haven't smelled that in a while. Almost 8 gallons. Let's pull up our Fuel It app, connecting to device. All right, we're at 9% ethanol content. We're gonna drive around on the 91 map until we have at least E85, E60 hopefully, and then we'll flash it. Within about 3 minutes, it'll start rapidly changing. So we're at E20, I'll get on the gas a little bit. It's not bad to run a little bit of ethanol in your 91 map. It's bad to run 91 in your ethanol map because E85 is essentially race gas, and higher octane equals less detonation, less errors, all these things. So you don't need to be worried about running a little bit of E85 through your 91 flashed car. I just drove for like 4 hours. I think my timer in there said half a tank of E was not enough. It only got to E38, so gotta get this done so you guys can see the results. It's such a weird part of the job making videos. It's like, I gotta get this fuel out of this tank so I can get these clips. So I'm just driving around for hours, just wasting time. Strange job sometimes. Well, I hope this is enough to get it to E60. If you're wondering what the ethanol content needs to be to run an E85 map safely from 034, E60. We're at E38, I believe. Let's see what this does. The warm start is nice with the RS style from tuning it, and then with the res delete. Since it's basically the same volume level, why should you get the X-pipe? The tone is better, and it's just that little bit louder, and it just sounds better. It's a nice little cheap exhaust mod. But if you really want something crazy, you gotta wait for that downpipe. Or get a whole different catback, but I don't know about that. I think this is gonna be absolutely perfect. X-pipe plus downpipe, and then having that factory muffler with the stock valve, it's gonna be great. Fuel tank drain and a half. We're at E60 or above, E63 to be exact. This thing is a ripper right now. Holy crap, that was basically a 4-second run. Woo! it's insane. Like, this SUV moves. This over S4 all day. All day. This thing with a downpipe is gonna be so rad. Ariana's gonna be so shook. Wow, this thing is so cool. What a cool platform. I hate this stupid little noise. Everybody can relate. The sunroof. I just barely pop it open. I had the AC on that run too. Alright, let's get a freeway sound test. Oh my gosh. I gotta take this into the canyon. That's a good time. That is a good time. My draggy device probably almost flew off. Alright, comfort mode, drive. Alright, cruise at 75, downshifting, everything's closed. 65, 66 decibels. And that's where I wanted to get off. If you're as excited as I am to make this car sound insanely good and have a lot of turbo noise, I'm gonna leave this video right here. We're doing a downpipe and another important mod. We'll see you over there. This thing is gonna be dumb fast next time you see it. This thing's so fast on the E85.